Good morning. I feel very close, so I'll just take you back a little bit. Welcome. My name's Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I am here to share some guidance for this week ahead. That's this week starting today. It's today for me, maybe for you too. Today the 7th of December, Monday the 7th through to Sunday the 13th of December. If it's not quite Monday for you yet, you can think of this as guidance in advance. So I am here to see what this week potentially holds. So before I start, welcome, extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. If you're new to watching, welcome. Let us know if you're new so that we can welcome you. What I'm going to be doing is using my combined Speed of Light Oracle cards and my Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. These decks have been combined to create a 110 card deck, and I'm going to use this deck to lay out some cards and see what potential there is for this week. So as always, please think of this as a guide only. Take on board what feels right, what resonates, and what fits into your life easily, and let the rest go. Welcome, Angie. Angie's new. Welcome to everyone who's new. Karen's new too. Thank you and welcome. So just a quick recap on last week. So last week's theme was hi Deborah, welcome. Last week's theme was the raven, which reminded us to face our shadow, to face our fear with honesty. So how did that play out for you last week? Hi, Kath. How did that play out for you last week? For me, it came to play out for me as toxic, poisonous, we could say, situations, especially midweek, where I had to really stand my ground and make sure I held true to myself rather than feeding into the toxicity of others. So I think for me it showed up, that facing my shadow with honesty showed up for me as a way to remind me to keep my boundaries really strong and clear. And it's okay to have to sometimes just say no. This doesn't work for me. You're not the type of person I want to be around. So how did it play out for you? Welcome. Welcome new people who are asking for cards, because I know my regular viewers wouldn't do that. I don't pull cards for individuals. I'm here to share some guidance for everybody. So I trust that you've been led here for a reason. So I'm shuffling the cards. I'm going to lay them out intuitively on my trusty chair here. And then I'm going to share with you what the cards are. So, like I just said, it's just a guide. So please, just please take on board what resonates and let the rest go. And let's see what happens. So take a nice big breath. And I'm holding the intention to find the best cards for the majority of us for this week, starting the 7th of December through to Sunday the 13th of December. I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Monday the 7th of December, and it's exactly 9:25 a.m. So let's just... Okay, so the best cards for this week are these. I'm going to lay them out here face down on my chair, and then I will turn them over and then I will show you as I go. I'll keep the cards nearby in case we get a featured card. This is what we're starting the week with. The Earth Dragon. It's the only card I've turned over for now. So I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. That's a great start to the week. Okay, no featured cards. Very interesting. Okay, so we're starting the week. Monday the 7th of December. So this is Monday, and I feel like this is a great start to the week. This is the Earth Dragon card 25, and it says physical reformation. This card has come up a fair bit recently in our weekly guidances, so you may have seen this before, and it talks very much about physical change, so change in our body, change in our life, change in our relationships, our workplace, our home life as well, perhaps. And this is about a reforming. So I imagine when I drew this dragon, I imagined it walking across the land, pulling up the mountains, pushing down the valleys, and really moulding, forming a moulding. You know, like when a cat is fluffing up a blanket and it's kind of pushing and pulling with its claws. That's how I feel the dragon to be as it walks over the earth, pushing and pulling. So really reforming, remoulding our earth experience, our physical journey right now. So we might find that we start the week quite motivated to apply and make changes to our health, to our physical well-being, we could say. Maybe also quite inspired and motivated to make changes in our life, to maybe start some new things, to learn some new things, perhaps. What do you need to change or apply in your life that could really bring about an improvement? We don't know how things are going to turn out, I suppose, so there is an element of unknown here. But I like to sometimes think of change as also meaning improvement. I have the trust that it's going to bring improvement as I make the choices and the changes that align with my heart and what feels right at the time. So this is a powerful card to get for our beginning of the week. I think I'm going to sneeze. Okay, so then as we go from Monday into Tuesday, we have the Cockatoo, which is card 47, and it reminds us to be compromising. So to find a compromise, and I feel that this may be applicable for you in situations or relationships, connections you have with other people, where you may find you have to find a compromise, a common ground. But I also feel this very relating to the Earth Dragon, especially if this speaks to you about your physical body and changes, improvements you need to make to your physical well-being. I'm sure it's nothing anyone needs to tell you. I'm sure you probably, like I have been thinking I must do this more, I must do that less, in regards to what I'm eating, how active or inactive I am. So I've been thinking it. I'm sure you've been thinking it too. So this is a favourable time, beginning of the week, to start applying those things that we've been thinking and talking about. And connecting with this card, connecting with our physical body, which overflows then into Tuesday, is to remind ourselves to be compromising, especially in regards to our body and what our body needs. I can trust my body, just as I'm sure you can trust yours. My body wants me to survive. That's its main function, its main purpose. And I can trust its instincts. I've just got to listen to it. I've just got to listen to it and perhaps make some compromises to honour what my body needs for its survival. Our body is a finely in tune, highly sensitive instrument, and it will lead us into more than just our survival. What I mean is, I think the basic function of our body is to survive, and when that is sorted, then we can explore other things. We can go on adventures, learn new things, create, build, these sorts of things. I trust that's making sense. So early in the week, around Tuesday, we're being reminded to be compromising. So find a compromise, find a common ground. And then we hit midweek. So Wednesday and into Thursday. And we have these two cards, the Yogi and the Elementals. These feel similar. In fact, card 30, card 32, I would have drawn these around the exact same time. 7th of July 2011. The 7th month, July 2011, I drew that. September 2011, I drew that. So they have a very similar feeling, don't they? Colours is very similar. So that was around the same time period. But let's look at the Yogi first. This is card 32. And it says teacher, student, wisdom, study and leader. So this is learning new skills. This is stepping into our role. I'm going to sneeze. Am I going to sneeze? I don't know. It's just teasing me. stepping into our role as a leader. This is also learning. So I think of learning and leading. Even leaders are learning. I would hope that leaders would still see themselves as learning. This card also brings forth a new level of understanding about a situation we may have been confused about or uncertain about. So it's like the penny dropping, and finally, or in that moment, we sort of see why this has happened or why we feel this way. So the penny is likely going to drop midweek. And as the penny drops, it brings forward this energy, which is abundance. It's card 30. And it says blessings, abundance, prayers, and opening. So this is the abundance card, is what I would say. So abundance coming in the form of gifts, opportunities, good health, maybe finances or extra income or money, I guess, that's needed. It can be savings. We might need something. We might need a new pair of shoes because our shoes have worn out. So we go to buy a pair of shoes and they're half price. So then that's an abundance, because then we've got that extra, that extra money that we didn't know that we would have before. So there is this feeling here of good flow around midweek. And this is especially after the penny drops. And this is not something we can force. It's just probably going to happen. We could be washing the dishes and the penny drops and we suddenly see why we went through that, why that situation occurred, or why we feel that way. And so it's like an understanding, a wisdom that is potentially going to drop in for us. But it's not something we can force. I find I sort of feel on it and contemplate, reflect on whatever the situation may be that I'm dealing with at the time. And then when I'm not even thinking about it, it just, something sort of drops and it's like, now I get it. Now I get why that happened. So it gives us the wisdom, the understanding. And once the penny drops, it feels like it's going to help open us up. And this opening will help bring in more abundance and flow in our life. If you're not liking the video, how could you just turn it off? Go and do something you love, so that those of us who do enjoy these types of connections can enjoy it, rather than spreading anger and misery around. So just turn it off. Doesn't matter. It's like that for anything that any of us do. If we don't like something, let's just turn it off. Why do we sit there complaining about it? So let us enjoy it, please. So midweek feels to be good. Penny dropping, abundance coming in. It's really important with abundance that we allow ourselves to stay open to receiving the abundance that is available to us. To allow ourselves to be in and find the flow, the good flow for us. If we're closed off and we're living in a space of lack, if we're miserable and bitter about what life has done to us or what someone else has done, we're closing ourselves off to the abundance that is there. So let's also ensure around Wednesday and Thursday that we're staying nice and open to the flow and open to the abundance that's available. Now, Friday. Friday we have the filters card 26. And it says beliefs, cancel, delete, clarity, and awareness. So this is an interesting card to me, because depending on our beliefs, our past experiences, how wounded we are, how insecure we feel, whatever our issues are, even our fear, it will filter, it will taint, it will twist how we view everything, how we view ourselves, how we view others who we may be in a relationship or friendship with. It twists and taints and filters how we view our life. So if we're in an insecure, wounded space, everything we experience is going to be filtered through that wound. Then we start attracting the same type of person, the same type of situation that reinforces that wound or that issue, or whatever it is that we're carrying. So this is giving us an opportunity around the end of the week, so around Friday, to really look at our filters and the way we are distorting how things really are. I like to remind myself with like an affirmation or a little thing that I like to say to myself, is that I like to see how things truly, really are. How things really are. Not how I think things are. Because how I think things are always going to be twisted and tainted to my own wounds and issues and insecurities that I feel. So there is an opportunity later in the week for us to look at, if we're open to it, and heal and release the things that, the way we're viewing, the way we're perceiving ourselves and others and our life. There is an opportunity for us to get clarity and to be able to see how things really, truly are. Are you interested in seeing how things truly are? Or do you want to hold yourself in the wound by keeping the wound active by the way you're perceiving all of these things that are happening? So if you find yourself saying things like, why does this always happen to me? Why do I continue to attract this same type of person? Why do friends always betray me? Why is every single workplace like this and that or whatever? If you find yourself saying that, then it might be worth really looking honestly at yourself to see, what are you twisting and turning about this? What are you not seeing clearly or as honestly as you could? And it can be confronting to confront ourselves to the fact that I've actually had an issue with this and I didn't realize. So can you find the courage to see who you truly are and see how things truly are? So this is a perspective shift towards the end of the week. It's favourable time to shift our perspective and step into our role as the observer. So it might be really good too, as we move from Friday into the weekend, to be the observer. To maybe we've been speaking and spouting off too much lately. Maybe we've been casting our opinions or pushing our truth. Maybe we've been a bit forceful in the way we've been speaking lately. And by the end of the week, we might find the need to step back and observe. To really look and just see. I found, not that I want this to happen again, and it hasn't for a long time, but I used to always lose my voice. I've been working with, for my whole life, of quite a unconfident throat chakra, where it's not always been easy for me to speak. I've been quite unconfident throughout my life, and I've really worked hard to get to this point where I can feel comfortable to speak and share what I'm feeling here. And quite often, especially in my high school and earlier years, I would lose my voice. It would come time for me to present a project in class. I would be freaking out, nervous, anxious, feeling terribly unconfident. I would be fine working on it privately, but when it came time to stand up and speak, it was not the best place for me, as I'm sure a lot of you can relate to. So it would not be uncommon that on the day that I would have to speak in front of the class, I couldn't speak. Like, I would literally have lost my voice. And this would happen a few times a year. And then as I got a little older, and the odd time when that would happen, I think the last time was about 2012 actually, when I was launching one of my books. I lost my voice as well there. But it's really interesting when you lose your voice and you just got to listen. You don't have any choice because you've got no voice, nothing coming out of your mouth, even though you might want to say something. So it's a little like that, I feel, towards the end of the week. Not that we'll lose our voice, but this sense of just perhaps needing to zip our lips a little bit, hold back on what we would usually be very forthcoming with in our words, and just observe and listen and see what we can observe. It will likely be closely connected to this filters card. So our power of observation will likely help us see where we are filtering or where we are not perceiving things in our life or things in our relationships about ourselves, perhaps, and where we're not seeing that clearly or honestly. Then we get to the weekend. We've got this interesting combination of cards for the weekend. And I'm sorry, again, I haven't been saying dates, but Saturday the 12th, the 13th of December. We have the Tiger Shark, which might feel fierce, but in this deck it's actually quite sensitive and vulnerable. And then we have the Wolf. So let's look at the Tiger Shark first. So these are both applicable for the weekend, I feel. It's card 20, the Tiger Shark, and it reminds us to open our hearts. I love this drawing of the Tiger Shark, how it's revealing its underside, its most vulnerable part. And I've drawn this symbol on here too, just to highlight that vulnerability. So we've been encouraged over the weekend to trust in our vulnerable moments, in our sensitivity. Let's keep our heart open as well over the weekend. There is a strength in allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. Sometimes we might think that I'm being weak because I'm feeling sensitive and vulnerable and fragile, but actually no, it takes a lot of strength to admit, hey, I feel vulnerable right now. This is a vulnerable time for me, or I feel really sensitive for some reason. When I say that, when I verbalize it or when I write it in my journal and I acknowledge that feeling for myself, it's actually quite an eye-opener because it gets the energy moving and helps me sort of move into the vulnerability to see what is this all about right now. So there is a sensitivity potentially for the weekend. And we have the Wolf, card 48, and it reminds us to secure our boundaries. Secure our boundaries. So there is a strength, there is a feeling that Wolf is on patrol around our space. Not only our personal space, but also our home space, our workspace, the things that we do. It feels like the Wolf is on patrol, making sure things are protected and safe for us. We will need to work with, work with and cooperate with the Wolf as well. There might be things that we need to say no to. There might be people we need to not be pulled into their drama or their toxicity. There may need to be things that we need to maybe close the doors on that we have been sort of tolerating, but it's just not a good situation for us. Maybe we need to shut the door on that. So there might be some of this coming up over the weekend, and we might find ourselves quite sensitive to the, I guess we could say, flaws in our boundaries. The things that we've been, basically when our boundaries are down, I've noticed, what am I giving my power away to? Am I giving my power away to this situation I don't like, but I keep complaining about it? Okay, why am I complaining? Does this situation need to be removed from my life? I'm very aware of when I get in complaining mode and then look at, okay, is this a good situation for me? Because I don't want to be a bitter, complaining person. So maybe notice what you're sensitive to on the weekend, and you might need to reel back your energy, and you might need to really look at where you're giving your power away. So there are the cards for this week. I trust they resonate. See how the week goes for you. I'm going to pull a theme card now. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you want to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you want to learn more about me, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. I have some new crystal pendants I released last week, and we have our solstice gathering, online solstice gathering on Zoom, happening on the 20th of December. That's for any active Temple of Balance patron for December or Pillar of Light family member. So check it out if you want to. For as little as $5, you can join me for that, and plus you're supporting my work. So check out Patreon if you're interested. You can find out all that stuff on my website, or let me know if you can't find something. I'm kind of feeling I'm going to lay low a bit this week. Usually I do a few videos throughout the week, but It's been quite an ego boosting few days. Yesterday I received 4 awards at band. And today's Corey and my 11-year anniversary. There's a lot of really big things happening at the moment, and I feel my ego is needing to be tamed. So I'm feeling, when I can feel it sort of coming up and sort of loving attention, I really look at, okay, I need to lay low. I need to tame this wild beast. So I may lay low a bit this week. Don't be surprised if you don't hear from me in regards to videos. There will always be posts there in regards to videos over these next few days, just while I allow that energy to settle. I really don't like actually getting attention. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting when the attention comes in and then, you know, suddenly there's this sort of heightened feeling, a good feeling. I'm very grateful, but I just want to make sure that I keep my ego in check. So that's kind of how I'm feeling this morning. But we will see. So you might see me through the week, but it might not be much. And thank you. Thank you, everybody. So I'm looking for the best card for the theme. The theme card will help bring these days together and help us see the bigger picture for this week of the 7th through to the 13th of December. So the best card for the theme for the majority of us is this. It's a Speed of Light Oracle card. And it's this. Card 2, Answered Prayer. It says, ask, help, answers, and improvement. So this is a really nice, simple card. And it reminds us, 1, that our requests for help have been heard. So now we need to get out of the way and let the answers, the clarity, the changes, the improvement, let it come. There is also a feeling with this card about improvement and things improving for us. It doesn't mean we sit back on the couch watching sitcoms all day with our can of Coke and just let things happen. I really feel we have to be proactive, serious about our life. If we want to see things improve, it's not up to anyone else to improve our life for us. It's up to us. And it's something I personally take very seriously. Can you take your improvement more seriously? Do you need to take your improvement or the improvement you want to see in your life? Do you need to take that more seriously? Have you become a bit lazy with your life? A bit expectant of things? Can you get out there and live it a little more seriously so that you can create improvements for yourself through your choices, through your actions, through your deeds, through your caring nature, through your ability to learn, and whatever else is important for you? So this is bringing an improvement. This is bringing help. But really it is up to us. So let's make a commitment to ourselves. If we need to, we will know if we do need to treat our life more seriously. It doesn't mean we can't have fun. It doesn't mean we can't enjoy ourselves. But it means a lot to take things seriously. And there are more people watching. There are more people observing and looking at us than we might think. We are role models. So if we can take our life more seriously, if we can dedicate more and commit more time to what we want to create for ourselves, the improvement, it will ripple out because other people will see it. So it's much more helpful than trying to push and preach and force ourselves onto others, that you have to do what I say because I said so. That just creates rebellion, and that's quite an egotistical way of trying to help other people. I really feel the best way we can help is to be a role model. So what sort of role model do you want to be? So improvement, answered prayer, and asking for help are our themes for this week. Actually, a bit of a nice breather, to be honest, because it's been quite intense. So it's nice to have just a nice simple theme card. So see how your week goes. Have a great week. Happy birthday, happy anniversary to anyone who's celebrating. And I will be back next Monday, the 14th, for our weekly guidance. I may be in through the week for some support videos on my Facebook page, so keep an eye out. But there will always be posts if I'm not about. If you're on Facebook and you're not a part of my Temple of Balance private group, you're very welcome to request to join. I share a little bit more personal things there, some poetry, some things that I'm dealing with on a healing level too that's private. So your comments won't be seen by all your friends and family, which I know is quite a thing, especially for those of you who watch who don't comment, because I understand that Facebook shows our friends and family what we're interacting on rather than the people who have actually liked the page, which is strange. But please look up Temple of Balance private Facebook group if you're interested. So thank you so much. Have a fantastic week ahead, and I will see you when I see you next time. Bye for now.